So hey Rich Squad, it's your boy Dominic and I'm here to give you my prediction for the CAF World Cup qualifiers that will be played in October. There will be matches played in November as well. So I'm gonna go right ahead and give you part one of my predictions. So I'm gonna start from Group A all the way to Group E. So I'm gonna start with Group A, and Group A consists of Libya, Congo DR, Guinea, and Tunisia. So in Group A, we have Libya coming up against Congo DR. And in the first match, it was a 4-0 win to Congo DR in the homeland. It was at home. It was played in Congo DR. This match will be played in Libya. Libya is currently 81st in the FIFA rankings and they have 0 World Cup appearances. They are last in the group and they won't qualify. They only have 3 points, so it's impossible for Libya to qualify. Their last 2 World Cup qualifiers matches were a 3-2 loss away to Guinea, and they had a 1-0 win at home versus the same team, Guinea. Key players for Libya is the entire Al Ali Tripoli team. Like almost all of that team plays for the Libyan national football team. Like that's amazing, right? So they know how to play with each other. Team chemistry should be there. So it will not be an easy second leg in the game versus Congo DR. Congo DR, on the other hand, are 42nd in the world rankings. They have 1 World Cup appearance, which was in 1974 under the name Zaire. Guys, that's a great story. You should go and check it out. And they're currently 2nd in the group on 7 points. They can still qualify. And I predicted that they will qualify actually. Their last 2 games was a 2-1 loss away to Tunisia and a 2-2 draw at home to the same team, Tunisia. Key players include Chancellor Mbemba, Yusuf Malumbu, Tisserand, Bakambu, Gael Kakuta, and Kibanu. In this game, I'm gonna predict a 3-1 win for Congo DR. Guys, let me know what you think. Let me know your predictions down below. In the second match of Group A, it will be Guinea versus Tunisia. In the first leg of that tie, it was a 2-0 home victory for Tunisia. Guinea is currently ranked 65th in the world. They have 0 World Cup appearances and they're 3rd in the group on 3 points. They won't qualify for the FIFA 18 World Cup in Russia. Their last 2 games were a 3-2 win at home to Libya and a 1-0 loss away to Libya. Key players include Naby Keita, Francois Komano, Silla, and the Pogba brothers also play for Guinea. But I think Florentin Pogba was the only one called up to this squad, I think. For Tunisia, they're currently ranked 31st in the world with 4 previous World Cup appearances. Top of the group with 10 points and they're favorites to qualify. They're unbeaten in qualifiers as well. 2nd highest in FIFA rankings for an African team. Best defense in Group A. And the last 2 matches was a 2-1 win versus Congo DR and a 2-2 draw away to Congo DR. Key players include Wabi Kazri, goalkeeper, captain Matt Luti, and the team at whole plays as a unit, so there's not a lot of individual brilliances to point out with the Tunisian team. So that's why I think they've been doing so well. They haven't been dependent on one particular player. But this match, I'm gonna predict a 2-0 victory to Tunisia. And after the 2 results in this group, Tunisia will be on top going into the last game with 13 points Congo DR 10 points, Guinea 3 points, and Libya at the bottom with 3 points. So Guinea and Libya are out, and it will come down to the final match which will be played in November to decide whether it's Tunisia or Congo DR who would qualify. The next fixtures are Tunisia versus Libya and Congo DR versus Guinea. Both teams at the top of the table are expected to win these games, so Tunisia might just qualify for the World Cup. But let's wait until the next predictions for those games to talk more about that. Let's move on to Group B. In Group B, we have Cameroon, Algeria, Nigeria, and Zambia. Let's just say Cameroon and Algeria can no longer qualify for the World Cup. Let me just put that right there. So Nigeria and Zambia are the only two teams alive in Group B. The first match will be Cameroon versus Algeria. In the first leg of that match, it was a 1-1 tie. Cameroon are currently ranked 45th in the world, according to FIFA, and they have 7 previous World Cup appearances. I think they have the most for African teams. I think so. And they're currently 3rd in the group on 3 points, won't qualify for the World Cup. No wins in World Cup qualifiers in this current round. And this match will be a dead rubber. Like, it doesn't matter who wins, it will be insignificant. So they have 3 draws, 1 loss, and they're currently African Cup of Nations champs. Their best finish for a FIFA World Cup was a quarterfinal. So that's really good for the Cameroonian team. And their last 2 games was a 4-0 away loss to Nigeria and a 1-1 home draw versus Nigeria. Key players include Abubakar, Mukanju, Basogag, Fai, Ando, the goalkeeper, and Cameroon are currently unbeaten at home. So that's very interesting. Algeria are 62nd in the world according to FIFA. They have 4 previous World Cup appearances. Bottom of the group with 1 single point. They won't qualify, and as I said earlier, this is a dead rubber, and Algeria also have no wins in this current round of World Cup qualifiers with 3 losses and 1 draw. The last 2 games was a 0-1 home loss versus Zambia and a 3-1 away loss versus Zambia. Key players for Algeria include Ghezal, Bentaleb, Riyad Mahrez, Slimani, Benzia, Riyad Boudebouz, Feghouli, Brahimi. With all this quality, I can't understand why Algeria has underperformed in this current World Cup qualifiers. It's like, it's hard to believe. Like, look at quality, guys, on paper, because they have not done well at all. For this match, I'm gonna predict a 1-1 draw between these 2 bottom place teams in Group B. So let's move on to the other match. We have Nigeria coming up against Zambia, and in the first leg of the tie, Nigeria won 2-1. Nigeria currently ranked 44th in the world according to FIFA. They have 5 previous World Cup appearances, top of the group with 10 points, favorites to qualify, best defense, best attack, and they're currently unbeaten in this current round of World Cup qualifiers. The last 2 matches was a 4-0 home win versus Cameroon and a 1-1 away draw to Cameroon. Key players include John Obi Mikel, Igalo, Amen Musa, Kelechi Iheanacho, and Victor Moses, just to name a few guys. For Zambia, on the other hand, they are ranked 78th in the world, and they have no World Cup appearances. They're 2nd in the group on 7 points, and they are the surprise packages of Group B. They are potential World Cup debutants also. It would be nice to see them qualify though. And they have scored in all games they have played in. The last two matches were a 0-1 away win to Algeria and a 3-1 home win to Algeria. Key players include Brian Muwela, Lungu, and the entire Zesco United team. Like, this is another local team who have like a lot of the team is actually playing for the national team. So that's another strong point. That's another reason why the Zambian team is doing so well. That's awesome. That's awesome. So this game, I'm gonna predict a 1-1 draw between these two teams. And going into the final match, the point standing will be Nigeria 11 points, Zambia 8 points, Cameroon 4, Algeria 2. And the next fixtures will be Algeria versus Nigeria and Zambia versus Cameroon to set up a grand finale. Let me move on to Group C. In Group C, we have Mali, Ivory Coast, Morocco, and Gabon. Mali versus Ivory Coast. First leg of the Mali versus Ivory Coast tie was a 3-1 win for Ivory Coast. Mali is currently 78th in the world and they have 0 World Cup appearances. They are bottom of the group on 2 points, won't qualify for Russia. Their last 2 games were a 6-0 away loss to Morocco and a 0-0 draw at home versus the same team. Mali is currently unbeaten at home, and key players for them includes Adama Traore, that's another Adama Traore by the way, Cheikh Diabate, Seydou Keita, and Silla. Ivory Coast are currently 54th in the world with 3 previous World Cup appearances. They're top of the group on 7 points and are favorites to qualify, but they have stiff competition from Morocco and Gabon. Their last 2 games were a 3-0 away win versus Gabon and a 1-2 home loss versus the same team. They're currently unbeaten on the road, and key players for them include Wilfried Bony, Solomon Kalou, Seydou Doumbia, Franck Kessié, Serge Aurier, Eric Bailly, and Gervinho, just to name a few. For this match, I'm gonna predict a 1-1 draw. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. For the second match in Group C, we have Morocco versus Gabon. Morocco is currently ranked 56th in the world by FIFA and had 4 previous World Cup appearances. They're currently second in Group C on 6 points, unbeaten in 4 games, 3 draws and 1 win. They can still qualify. Their last 2 games was a 6-0 win versus Mali and a 0-0 draw versus the same team. Key players include Nabil Dira, Mehdi Benatia, Hakim Ziyech, and Sofiane Boufal, just to name a few. Gabon are currently 79th in the world, no World Cup appearances, third in Group C on 5 points, unbeaten on the road, and their potential World Cup debutants. They can still qualify. They're still in the race. The last 2 games was a 0-3 loss versus Ivory Coast at home and a 1-2 victory versus Ivory Coast away. Key players for them are Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who missed those last 2 games, Mario Lemina, Ndong, Manga, and Obiang. It would be an enthralling game, guys. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna predict a 2-1 victory for Gabon. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. So after these 2 games, the table is gonna look like this. Ivory Coast on 8 points, Gabon on 8 points. Ivory Coast lead with better goal difference. Morocco on 6 points and Mali on 3. The next fixtures in Group C include Ivory Coast versus Morocco and Gabon versus Mali. It's gonna be a tight finish, guys. Let me know what you think about Group C down in the comments section. Group D, guys, let's move on to Group D, which has South Africa, Burkina Faso, Cape Verde, and Senegal. South Africa versus Burkina Faso in the first game. The first match between these 2 teams was a 1-1 draw. South Africa is currently ranked 80th in the world and had 3 previous World Cup appearances. They're currently bottom of the group with 1 point. The only win was a 2-1 versus Senegal in November 2016 in a game that was marred by controversy. So that game has to be replayed in November. So in this current, they have 3 games left basically, when most other teams have 2. So they hosted the 2010 World Cup, created a bit of history right there. And in their last 2 games was a 2-1 away loss to Cape Verde and 1-2 home loss to the same team, Cape Verde. Key players are, the majority of the team, they have a lot of key players. So I can't really single out anybody except Tokelo Ranti, who is their highest goal scorer right now with 13 goals from 41 appearances. But the South African team hasn't been playing really well. But Burkina Faso are currently ranked 49th in the world with no previous World Cup appearances. They're first in the group on 6 points level with Cape Verde. Unbeaten. They have the best attack. And even though the group is closely contested, they're one of the favorites to qualify for the World Cup. This would also mean it will be a debut for Burkina Faso. So I would love to see that. The last 2 games was a 0-0 draw versus Senegal and a 2-2 draw versus Senegal. So they draw their last 2 games. A win would have been really, really good for them. Their key players include Bertrand Traoré, Bakary Kone, and Charles Kabore, just to name a few. In this match, I'm going to predict a 2-1 victory to Burkina Faso. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. In the second match of Group D, Cape Verde plays Senegal. The first leg between these 2 teams was a 2-0 win for Senegal. Cape Verde is in red hot form, by the way, as you hear from the last fixture. They are currently ranked 67th in the world and had 0 World Cup appearances. Second in the group on 6 points, with also 6 points Burkina Faso, but Burkina Faso has a better goal difference. They are dog horses of Group D. And they are Portuguese speaking islanders, guys. They're the only island nation currently playing World Cup qualifiers in Africa. That's some cool stuff. And as I said, they can make their debut at World Cup 2018. They have wins in their last 2 fixtures versus South Africa, 2-1 in both home and away matches. Their key players are basically their foreign-based players because most of their players play abroad. A lot of them play in Portugal. Senegal, on the other hand, are ranked 33rd in the world. They're one of the highest ranking African teams, 1 previous World Cup appearances, 3rd in the group on 5 points, and they were my favorites to qualify for the World Cup from this group. They would have to play a replay match versus South Africa, and that have handed the Senegalese team like a lifeline, because currently on 5 points, the fact that they have 3 games left, if they could win all 3 games, it would propel them straight into Russia, so that's awesome. So their last 2 matches versus Burkina Faso were draws, and they have 3 matches left, as I said. And their only appearance in the 2002 World Cup in Korea, Japan, saw them reach all the way to the quarterfinals, knocking out big teams like France, who were World Cup champions in the previous World Cup. So Senegal, don't take your eyes off them. Their key players include Koulibaly, Idrissa Gueye, Sadio Mane, Kouyaté, their captain, Moussa Sow, Mbaye Niang, and Sakho. For this game, I'm going to predict a 2-1 victory for Senegal. So after those results, the 2-1 win for Burkina Faso over South Africa and the 2-1 win for Senegal over Cape Verde, the table would look like this. Burkina Faso top with 9 points, Senegal on 8 with a game in hand, of course. Cape Verde on 6, South Africa at the bottom on 1, which means they won't qualify for the World Cup. That's just my early predictions for South Africa. Sorry, South Africa. The next fixtures in Group B include Burkina Faso versus Cape Verde, South Africa versus Senegal, and another Senegal versus South Africa, which will be a replay, or vice versa. I think it's the South Africa versus Senegal game would be the replay, and the Senegal versus South Africa will be the regular fixture, if I'm not wrong. Correct me down below, guys. Last but not least, Group E. In Group E, we have Uganda, Ghana, Egypt, and Congo. And Group E is very much alive, with the exception of Congo, of course. So Ghana, Uganda, and Egypt are still in the hunt. Uganda versus Ghana. Uganda currently 71st in the world, ranked by FIFA, and they have 0 World Cup appearances. They're second in the group on 7 points and can qualify and make their World Cup debut in Russia. They're currently unbeaten at home and have the best defense with 1 goal conceded. Wow. They're surprise contenders to win the group also. The last 2 fixtures was a 1-0 home win versus Egypt and a 1-0 away loss to the same team. Uganda plays as a unit, so if I have to point out key players, I would say the whole team is key. The whole team is key for every team, but you know, a lot of other teams have like star players played in Europe, so it's easy to point out key players for those teams. But in the case of Uganda, I couldn't point out any key players. For Ghana, they are currently ranked 52nd in the world with 3 previous World Cup appearances. They are 3rd in the group on 5 points. They will not qualify with a draw. Just remember that. If they get a draw, they will not qualify because Egypt has 9 points. It's that simple. So they reached the quarterfinals of the 2010 World Cup, which was played in Africa, but was defied by the hand of Luis Suarez and Uruguay. You could also ask Asamoah Gyan, who took the penalty and missed it and made the game go on to penalty shootout, which Uruguay won, of course. The last 2 games was a 1-1 draw at home versus Congo and a 1-5 away win versus Congo. Their key players include Christian Atsu, the RU brothers, Baba Rahman, Asamoah Gyan, Jeffrey Schlupp, Aqua, and Ofori. But in this game, I'm going to predict a 2-0 victory to Uganda. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for the last game of this current African World Cup qualifiers will be Egypt versus Congo. Egypt are currently ranked 30th in the world and they have made 2 previous World Cup appearances. By the way, the first match between these 2 teams was a 2-1 win to Egypt. And Egypt are currently top of the group with 9 points, highest ranked African team by FIFA, favorites to win the group and qualify. They have conceded 0 goals at home, and they are the first African team that appeared at a World Cup, which was in 1934. They have been absent from the World Cup since 1990 though, so it would be a big deal, a big deal if they qualify for this one. Their last 2 fixtures was a 1-0 loss away to Uganda and a 1-0 win at home versus Uganda. Key players include Mohamed Salah, Ramadan Sobi, Mohamed El Neni, Ahmed Fati, goalkeeper Ehsan El Hadari. For Congo, they are currently ranked 95th in the world with 0 World Cup appearances. They're bottom of the group on 1 point, won't qualify for Russia. Most goals conceded with 9 goals, winless in the group. They can make things interesting with an upset or a draw, so don't take your eyes off Congo. And the last 2 fixtures was a 1-1 away draw to Ghana and a 1-5 lost at home to Ghana. Key players include Ndinga, Prince Anyagi, and Thierry Bifuma. But for this game, guys, I'm going to predict a 3-0 win for Egypt. So at the end of the 2 fixtures, Egypt will have 12 points, Uganda 10 points, Ghana 5, and Congo 1, which means Ghana and Congo would not qualify for the World Cup. So for the last 2 fixtures of this group, it will be Congo versus Uganda and Ghana versus Egypt. So guys, there you have it, my predictions for the African World Cup qualifiers. Let me know if you like my dashiki hair. Let me know if you like the colors and stuff. And let me know if you have a dashiki also. Guys, leave your predictions in the comments section down below. Don't get mad if I predicted your team will not win or will not qualify. Just let me know your thoughts down below. Remember, these are my opinions. And if this is the first time to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, smash that thumbs up button, and until next time, guys, peace out. Rich Squad!